In 2001, I was on the staff of the Upper Room. We went to South Africa and Mozambique to visit the churches there and ask the people to write their stories of God. I don't know how many of y'all read the Upper Room, but there's 60 devotions, 2 months of devotions, everyday devotions in those little books. And the rule is that 6 of those 60 devotions, 10% of those devotions are from the country of origin. So in the U.S., 6 of 60 of those devotions will be from the United States. 6 of 60 of those devotions in Mozambique will be from Mozambique. So our job was to ask the people in the churches in Mozambique and South Africa to share their stories of God. And they were delighted. It was an incredible experience. Through an interpreter, one of the men in one of the churches said, "Oh, we are so happy you're here. We have so many stories of God to tell. Because you see, we've had civil war, we've had famine, we've had flood, we've had disease, and we have so many stories of God to share." In Pretoria in South Africa, we met the dean of the seminary at that time. His name was Sidwell. Sidwell was a Methodist elder. And he showed us the school, and while we were visiting, we told him that the next day we wanted to go to Soweto. And he said, "That is good, you should go, you must go, but I must go with you for safety." So the next day we went to Soweto with Sidwell. We visited the large Roman Catholic church there, Regina Caeli, in which, during a speech by Desmond Tutu, the apartheid soldiers got nervous and started shooting people. There were bullet holes in the ceiling in front of the most gorgeous black Madonna you can imagine. We toured Soweto. Powerful, powerful experience. We went to lunch, and while we were at table, Sidwell told us his story. He said, during apartheid, he was a leader in the student movement. He's a Methodist pastor. He was arrested, he was jailed, he was tortured. I was dumbfounded because here was a man sitting at table with us who had suffered bodily harm, torture, incarceration. And I asked him, I said, "Sidwell, how is it that you're not bitter?" And he smiled and he said, "Oh, it was too heavy for me. I could not carry it. And God does not wish me to carry it." Sidwell could have stayed in prison, in his mind, in his heart. Sidwell could have confined his torturers to his own special prison. He could have held them there for years, extracting vengeance. Everyone has a dungeon. What is the cost to you for releasing people from your dungeon? That they deserve it? They say they're sorry? When you release them, they walk out free. But friends, so do you. So do you. You cannot carry it. God does not wish you to carry it. Prepare the way of the Lord. Proclaim release to the captives. Release to the captives. Freedom from that burden. Jesus stays at table, passing the bread and the cup. And this doesn't mean that there are times when we don't fail. But we must learn that betrayal and conflict and all our hurts resulting from our disappointments, when real community happens, can provide openings into deeper relationships with God. The God who is able to keep us from falling under the weight of disappointment, the weight of grief, the weight of sorrow. That was true then with his disciples, and it's true for us now. Jesus knew human nature, but he knew more. He knew that the God who is with us more than we are with each other. A God who will keep us together if we put our trust in God and not in our own togetherness. Parker Palmer puts it this way. He said, to put it as sharply as I know how, community is not so much a demonstration of heaven as it is a via negativa to God. We will always be disillusioned by community. But in the spiritual life, disillusionment's a good thing. Hello, church? It means that losing our illusions about ourselves and each other draws us closer to the rock of our salvation. As those illusions fall away, we are able to see truth more clearly. And the truth is that we can rely on God to make community among us, even when our efforts fail. The garden is an image of memory, our yearning for community. The New Jerusalem at the other end of history is an image of hope. So let us live in this community together with the memory of the garden and the hope of the New Jerusalem as we join Jesus at table at the Last Supper, knowing that past, present, and future, God is with us. We are not alone. We celebrate the birth of Jesus knowing that incarnate truth. If you want to travel fast, travel alone. If you want to travel far, go together. Amen.